Hey Gifted Hands family, it is Elijah Muse here bringing you another lesson. So today we are going to be looking at traditional gospel songs and like congregational hymns. So what I'm going to do is give you the kind of formula, the one-size-fits-all formula for most congregational songs, the formula that all of these are based off of, okay? So this is going to be beginner to intermediate level. I'm going to give you the basics, the basic chord progression, the basic layout that follows or that all these songs follow. And then we're going to add some passing chords, some fillers, some licks and some runs that you can add into this basic chord progression to embellish it, to make it sound more full and more advanced, okay? So let's jump right into it. All right, let's jump right into this with this basic formula to be able to play traditional gospel and congregational songs, okay? So for this, we're gonna start off in E flat, and then I'll move to A flat and show you how to play it in A flat as well, okay? All right, so let's look at this in E flat. There's a formula that this follows for every single key that you have. So if you have these basic songs like There Is Power, I'm a Soldier in the Army of the Lord, all of these different congregational songs have the same basic formula. If you know the formula, you can apply it to every single key. So I'm going to give you the formula as well as the chords, and you'll be able to apply it to whatever key that a vocalist starts singing in or whatever key you need to play it in. Okay. So one thing though, before we do get started, I want to mention that majority of the chords when it comes to these traditional songs are dominant chords. So this sound, right, that sound is based off of these dominant chords, or a flat 7 chord, right? The 7th chord. So majority of the chords we're going to look at today are going to be based off of dominant chords. That is just that recognizable, that go-to chord for this traditional sound, okay? So E flat is the key we're in. Let's get into it. All right, so the song that I'm going to be using as an example, just kind of to give you a reference, is going to be Bless That Wonderful Name. Bless that wonderful name of Jesus, okay? And so let me play through this one more time just to show you the full layout. This is the basic progression. So what we have is Bless That Wonderful Name, the 1 chord. So we're in the key of E flat, right? So our 1 chord is E flat major. But since we're playing these traditional gospel songs, we're going to make the 1 chord a dominant chord, just meaning that we're adding this flat 7. So if you don't know what a dominant chord is, you have a major triad, right, which is based off of your 1, your 3, and your 5. This is an E flat major triad. You can put the 1 on top, right? Go down a whole step from the 1. And this gives you your flat 7 or your dominant 7, okay? So adding this 7th is not a major 7th, because this is a major 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th of the E flat major scale. So you take the 7th and you flat it. Okay, And that gives you the dominant 7 chord. You can do that with any chord, and there you have a dominant 7 chord. Okay? So our 1 chord is going to be dominant in this case. So bless that wonderful name of Jesus. And then what do? We go to the 4. And then the 4 is also going to be dominant. Okay? So this is A flat major, and then I add the flatted 7th, which is G flat. Okay? G flat is the 7th. So I have 1, 3, 5, flat 7, and then I kind of just blend it with my 2 hands. So bless that wonderful name of Jesus. Bless that wonderful name of Jesus. And then we can go back to the 1. Okay? So next what we have is, this is our 7 chord. And the 7 chord is a minor 7 flat 5, also known as half diminished. Okay? So minor 7 flat 5 chord, this is what it is. So I'm playing D minor 7 flat 5, or D half diminished. So D, C, F, and A flat. If you don't know what a half diminished chord is, it's literally just a minor chord, a minor 7 chord. You take the 5th and you flat it, which is why it's also called a minor 7 with a flatted 5th. You flat the 5th, okay? So this is D minor 7, our 7 chord. And then we go to the 3. The 3 is dominant, G7, to our 6 chord, C minor 7, right? And the 6 is minor. Then we can go to the 2. No other. The 2 is going to be dominant. What's going on, Gifted Hands family? So we are jumping into the second part of this lesson of our traditional / congregational gospel songs lesson. And this is going to be intermediate to and a few advanced concepts that you can apply to this general formula. And you don't have to take them all. Just take what you can, take what you like, and expound on it. Figure out how to apply it to not only this, but the rest of your playing as well. So let's jump into it. So I'm just going to walk through what I played, kind of measure by measure, and show you each specific thing that I think you can apply to get from the basic version that we talked about in the previous lesson to what we have here now. Okay? So let's start with just measure 1. All right, so we know our basic kind of bluesy walk, right? And then what I did this right here. I threw in a passing chord to take me to the 4. So all that is my 3 chord. We're in E flat, so my 3 chord is 1, 2, 3. It's G. And instead of making it a minor chord, because diatonically G should be, your 3 chord should be minor. Since we're playing the traditional style, I make my G chord a dominant chord. And specifically, I raise the 5th, making it a G7 sharp 5. Okay? D is my 5th of G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I raise it. Okay, so G7 sharp 5 is this passing chord that I play, or I make the 3 chord a dominant to take me to the 4. Okay, so you have that. That's the first thing you can add, is just a passing chord to get you from your 1 to your 4 chord. Okay? But another way that I use, or another kind of passing progression that I use to get to the 4 sometimes as well, is this. Okay? So that may seem complex, it may seem complicated to some, but it's really not. All it is a bunch of dominant chords. So one more time. All right, so we got to the 4 now. Sometimes I'll play something like this. So what is that? I'm on the 4, and I'm doing 2, 5, 1. So what I do is I throw in a passing chord to take me to my 2 chord. So all I do is go to my minor 3rd of the key, or you can just look at it as a half step above your 2. My 2 chord is F. I go up half step, however you want to look at it, and I make it a dominant chord. So this dominant chord just acts as a passing chord to take me to the 2 chord. Okay? And sometimes I'll voice it like this. Okay. And then after that, all right. So after that, I'm playing a progression kind of that follows a cycle of fifths that we had talked about in the previous lesson. So if you haven't looked at that lesson, go check it out. I'm playing 6. Actually, after this walk up, 3, 4, flat, 5, 6, 2, 5, 1. So 3, 4, flat, 5, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay. And once again, it's traditional, so I like to make all these chords dominant for the most part. So my 6th chord is C7. And not only do I make it dominant, what I do is alter these chords. So I'm playing this as my altered chord. So C7, sharp 9, sharp 5. So that means my 5, this is my 5 of C, it's sharped. This is my 9, also known as the 2, and it's sharped, which gives me C7, sharp 9, sharp 5. It's my 6. 2 chord is altered as well, but it's dominant, so it's based off of an F7 chord. And then what I do, I raise the 5th, and I flat the 9th. G is the 9th of F. I flat it. C is my 5th, and I sharp it. Flat 9, sharp 5. And then I usually just play the 5 as a sus. And that takes me to the 1. And then my little walk up. And then also, a lot of times I'll play the 5. Sometimes I play the 5 as a sus. But you can also play the 5 as a sharp 5, sharp 9 chord. And the 5 being B flat 7. So this is B flat 7, sharp 9, sharp 5. If you look, you see it's an F of Jesus. No other name I know. Okay? Or you can play it like this. Bless the wonderful name of Jesus. So that was the lick I played, okay? And that still goes over the same chord progression of 3, 4, flat, 5, 6, 2. So the same chord progression that you just learned, 6, 2, 5, 1, right? But this time, my right hand, instead of playing chords, is playing this melody line, kind of this lick, okay? So I'll play it for you. C, the 6th chord. I won't play it with the root, because that's a lot of bouncing around. It's kind of hard to bounce your hands around all over the place when you're doing complex stuff with your right hand. So I'm kind of trying to simplify the things that I'm doing. So what I'll do is, when I get to that 6, 2, 5, 1 progression, instead of, like I said, bouncing around, what I'll do is just play the tritone of the chords that I'm playing. So 6, this is just a tritone of my 6th chord. 2, because my 2 is F, and I'm playing F dominant, right? So this is my 7th, flat 7th, and my 3rd. 5, so this is my 5 chord. I take away the root, I get my tritone, and then my 1 chord. And I'm playing just a tritone of the 1 chord as well. Okay? Which is, this is my flat 7, and my 3rd of E flat. And then what you get is actually something crazy. It's because, all right, this is my 6th chord, rootless 6, 2, 5, 1. 6, 2, 5, 1. Why? 6, 6, 2, 5, 1. So what you get is easy movements. All you have to do is find one tritone, and then you can just move it down in half steps, and you go around your kind of cycle of fifths, which is 6, 2, 5, 1. And so, like, you don't even have to think about what your left hand is doing. As long as you, I'm gonna end this off by just playing this song in A flat. I'm gonna play it for you in A flat so you can get a feel of what that looks like in a different key. All right, I'm gonna play it up to tempo, up to speed, and then I'll also play it kind of slow so you can see what's going on. All right, so that was A flat. Now I'm gonna just play it slow.